Hello guys, album release day. Is it like Christmas Day for a band when the album comes out?
No, Christmas Day is a much nicer feeling.
Waiting for your exam results, this is.
Yeah, you get excited about Christmas Day. And like, you know, the day you release a record is just pure nerves. It is. It's kind of, you realise that you've lost control over everything.
Yeah. It's the same for you too. Do you not ring each other up of a morning or ring the record company and say, what's the figures, what's the sale?
I'm like Josh Lyman in the particular episode of The Westwood when he's getting all the numbers. You know, I'm like that, and I'm getting grids straight into my brain. I can tell what's going on.
We'll know by Wednesday where we are.
Right, okay, cool. So, this album, I don't think I've seen such, effusive sort of exclamatory reviews for an album. It must have surpassed your wildest expectations.
Yeah, and I think as a lot of writers we've grown up kind of knowing, respecting. Writers who'll sometimes say we're crap, and you take it on the chin and you know they're right sometimes, but there's a lot of writers which I think illuminate music more than a citizen journalist could ever do, that's for sure.
The same for you two, what were your hopes for the album before you released it then?
I can't deny the kind of people we are. We were, our grounding was in being obsessive about the music press when we were young, whether it be Melody Maker or Sounds or Enemy. And so we do know the value of a really good album review. And I can't deny that it'll keep you warm. It'll keep you warm at night for a couple of weeks or so. The good reviews will keep you warm. And it does matter to us, just like a bad review matters, like Nick said.
Yeah.
And I think it's really gratifying when somebody finds other hidden reference points in the songs that you didn't even know that were there yourself, kind of thing. You might think it's on some kind of subconscious level, but it's good for other journalists to find out the hidden depths in things, because we're pretty nerdy in terms of all our reference points, and other people find things, and especially on this record it seems, other people have found other things that were just lurking in dark corners of the songs, and that's really cool. It excites us.
Sure. How do you find these signings then? We're at HMV at the minute. There's lots and lots of people queuing outside. Do you enjoy these sorts of experiences?
Well, there's kind of different ways of looking at it. We once did one in Germany where there's literally no one came. We literally hid behind the counter after an hour.
Was the Arnie Fuff kid in Spinal?
Karlsruhe. It was in Karlsruhe.
What year was that? Do you remember?
92. Whereas I remember the first, the ones we've done in Cardiff. We did one in particular, This Is My Truth, which was a midnight one. And it was thousands of people. Which was scary.
It was like 4 or 5 hours of silence, I think.
Went on, never went to bed. But to be honest, it's, kind of gives you a good kind of eye into your demographic.
Yeah.
No, it is good to see their fans face to face sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, your fans acknowledge some of the most loyal and passionate. I mean, do you, apart from lots of things to sign, no doubt, are you expecting a barrage of questioning? Do you get endlessly grilled?
I think
I don't get endless questions at signings usually. Most people, after the fact, said, only say, "I wish you had said something."
Yeah, there is a lot of that actually. We see them online going afterwards. I wish I'd asked him about that.
Sometimes you get given amazing guitars to sign. I'm just thinking, I want this guitar. Can I have it off you?
Yeah.
But I think we do come across what you would call the epitome of sometimes when a fan is really into something, these kind of signings, you come across the epitome of that kind of passion and attention to detail. It can make you feel really good about the band, and it can scare you a bit too.
They brought their whole collection, including the pink vinyl of New Art Riot or something, Then,
Have you run the Pink Art Riot yourself?
I have.
Me and Sean can't pretend, we were the nerds at the stage entrance in Bristol Colson Hall in 1985, was it? No, 84, 85? 84.
Yeah.
Waiting for all the Echo and the Bunnymen's signatures, we were those people too.
Yeah, cool. You see yourself in a lot of ways in the fans anyway, I guess. Don't you?
Yeah, I was the kind of the one that with my head down and just can you sign this please, and then ran away.
Cool. Still out. Right. So lots of albums to sign. I mean, is there any sort of signing warm-ups that a band can do? Do you do?
Sean is the signing guru.
Yeah,
he has the system.
McGraw used, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, from the start I thought let's keep the signature small, because you never know,
So
one
he
day
does
you might
Sean.
have a lot to do. So it's all in one movement.
We've just done 3,500 in the studio, special editions. So slightly sick of signing at the moment, but Sean always gets a system, and he literally does it a day before me and James are finished.
Yeah.
And he just sat there smug, laughing at us.
He has system of stopwatches and places and everything.
Ergonomically says, right, if I do 30 of these in 30 minutes, I will. Your fans is there.
So, yes, it's all about.
Yeah, but you've got drummer's wrist, though, haven't you? I would imagine you're able to fire off a
Exactly.
signature.
And he only,
quite quickly.
only signed Sean, which is cheating, really.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Do you get lots of gifts for these things?
I tend to still get, some brilliant bits of makeup and mad stuff like that. Yeah, it's always good.
Any bizarre, weird, wonderful you can remember from any signings in the past?
Some pretty dark stuff that we probably wouldn't mention these days.
Don't get that so much now, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I mean, but I suppose not things like this. But when you go to Japan, if you'll mention, to some fans that you've got a cold, then next to you you'll get like 30 cold remedies, Japanese cold remedies, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's always, you always get good gifts in Japan. We've never done a sign.
The amount of chocolate I get in Japan just from that first tour, it's just outrageous every time.
Was
It's
this something you
horrible
mentioned
as well.
then, or
What's that?
was that something you mentioned?
Yeah, in the first tour I didn't eat anything else because I didn't like Japanese food.
Oh,
So I just lived on Kit Kats.